When I was about 6 years old, I went to church with my grandmother, and I was in the children's part of the church, and they were talking about Noah's Ark. And I had a question, by being the animal nerd that I've always been. I said, where do they put the poop? Of course, the lady didn't have an answer for me, so she put me in the corner, as one does, right? That ruined religion for me. But over the years, I've come to gain an appreciation for many of the stories that have come out of various religions across time and across the world. The Tower of Babel is one of my favorite stories by far in all of ancient history. Now, the Tower of Babel actually comes from an older story from Mesopotamia, and the Bible abbreviates it to make it seem like it's one God doing everything, because that's the point of the Bible, is that there's one God. So this is Genesis 11. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. What a beautiful world to live in. A world without language barriers. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar, which is Sumer, and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens." Now, we always hear about this tower being the issue, but I'm going to argue that it was not the tower. And saying that it was the tower is one more example of ancient stories being manipulated in order to serve the powerful. Because the issue that God had is much simpler than that. With the tower that reaches to the heavens so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth. But the Lord, Yahweh, came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. We're unstoppable if we're united. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." Not the tower. We understood each other and we were united. And that was a threat to even God. But it's from an older religion with gods with a little g. So this isn't the God with the big G, okay? The source of the cosmos and everything in it. But we see this all the time today. The powerful always take something that should be unifying for all of us and instantly make it a polarizing issue. And demonize anyone that's pointing it out. Love each other, man. Try to understand each other.